All right, welcome back for video 2. This is actually supposed to be for the 14th, and I'm still technically inside of the window for the Pacific time. Specific time. Pacific time. First off, there's the babies over there. See them over there? There's the babies over there. There's the babies. There's the baby right there. The baby right there. Where's your ball? There's the bear with his ball. You have your ball? Let's see what's this here. I want to show you guys something here. Okay, so I'll show you guys this. This was a gift from Marie to me. Pretty cool, huh? This is a Starship Enterprise, the next generation Bluetooth speaker. It's not set up right now, and I probably won't set it up here just because we're going to be moving around and everything like that, and I don't want to take a chance on it getting damaged or anything while we're, kind of transitioning. But this is pretty good. It's pretty cool. It's the Star Trek Next Generation. I'm sorry, baby. Hang on. Put that right there. There's Simba right there. Simba. There's Simba right there. Being his good loyal boy. So she gave me that. I bought this the other day. And I haven't been able to figure out how to get it to work. So it's not working the normal way I'd want it to. Hang on, I have to put this down for a second to get it. Look at the ceiling for a second. So this is, I'll put it on my shirt here so you can see. Put it up here. Put it right here just so I can show it to you. Okay. All right, so hopefully you'll be able to see this better. All right, so can you see this like right here on my shirt? You hear that? That's the noise that their comms make on Star Trek Next Generation. That's what this is. This is a Bluetooth speaker slash a comm badge where you can take phone calls. It has a microphone and stuff on it. Now, I've only gotten it to connect once to a device, and it did not have a great speaker on it, so I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. The box is here. It's right here. Let's see. Is the right side up? I can't kind of tell. You may have to figure this. I think it's like this. I think it's like that. I think it's like that. I think it's like that. But that's the comm badge. If it's not right there, then maybe it's right there. If it's not right there, maybe it's right there. If it's not right there, then maybe it's right there. Anyway, one way or another, I hope it's right there when you see it. One of those ways is right. It looks right the first time. But so this is designed to where you can take phone calls and things like that, and also have like it, speaker to play music and stuff on instead of having headphones on. So on the back of it, I'm taking it off just to show you. So instead of it being like something that you pin to your shirt in a normal way, it actually on the back of it, you can see my hand here, there's two pieces and they magnetically connect. And that's how you connect it to your shirt or whatever you're wearing, so that you don't have to worry about it putting holes in your clothing or whatever else. You can actually connect it to a piece of clothing. I would assume if you're wearing anything super thick, it may connect, but the magnet may not be as strong. It's probably designed to go on the outside of a t-shirt or a regular polo shirt or something like that. I don't know that I would recommend trying to attach it to a coat or anything like that. But I haven't even finished testing it. I'm going to test it because it doesn't look like it has the greatest volume on it. And when I did test it with a phone call, my mom, who I called with it, she said it sounded like she was hearing other people in the background. So I don't know if it was picking up a frequency from somewhere else and getting audio from someone else's phone call or what. But anyways, that was what was going on with that. It looks cool though. I would really like for it to work. It's got good ratings. But here we go. This is kind of the whole point of this topic of this video. rating systems. Is something that's rated really high, is it actually as good as it says on that little rating from Yelp or Amazon or wherever you're looking at stuff, eBay, all that kind of stuff like that? Is it really as good as that? I contend the answer is probably no. And I'll tell you why. Because, number one, this had like a couple thousand, like 1,200 ratings on it. This little comm badge says it was like 4.5 or 4.4 to 5 stars, which says it's relatively good. If you were acknowledging it for the speaker and for the speaking aspect of it, I don't know that you would give it that high unless you're just incredibly generous, and that would take a lot of people to be very generous. You would want something that has a pretty good speaker on it, not something that would be hard to hear under weird circumstances. So I'm not sure if that rating is really accurate. The other one is, and this is the part of the reason I didn't make a video yesterday, is Marie and her cousin picked up some dinner for us last night after all the activity with doing all the activity with the dogs yesterday. And they went to this place called Don Darius, which is on South I-35. And it is, I can't taste anything. So remember, I go by texture now because I don't have taste buds anymore, which is really disappointing. So I can't taste anything. So she got me a chicken quesadilla, these are kind of like standard things I go to for Tex-Mex places. I get like a chicken quesadilla and I get queso, and if those two things are good, then I figure, they're all right. It's because it's a very basic thing. I'll go into more advanced stuff later if I feel like they're doing it properly, but sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. So I got this quesadilla. It didn't seem as greasy as like Amaya's has in the past. It was less expensive than Amaya's. There's Bear. There's Bear. There's the bear. I'm a big bear. I'm a big bear. He had a tough day. He was very tired yesterday, weren't you? Weren't you, baby? You tired yesterday? Huh? Are you tired, bear? He's a good boy. He's my good, beautiful bear. Yes, he is. Love him. I love that one too, Mr. Simba. Oh, look, he's giving me kisses. Those are the best things ever. Bear kisses are the best kisses ever. The best kisses ever. I love you, Angel. I love you, my little angel. I had a chicken quesadilla, and like I said, it wasn't as greasy on the texture as like Amaya's has been. I didn't dislike Amaya's, by the way. I've never had any problems with like getting sick from their food, but because it was greasy, but it's just a little bit greasier than this felt on the outside. Even though it still felt like the chicken and the cheese were, it wasn't tough or anything as you were eating it. But anyways, so I ate the quesadilla, and then I ate a little bit of the queso, and then late last night, around 11 o'clock my time, I started to get the chills. And after a while, when I was sitting with the dogs, feeding them, I was sitting on the floor next to them by the laundry room, and I was just shaking violently. It was like my organs were being turned inside out. They were horrible, just shivers. All I wanted to do was crawl under a polar bear and get warm. And so it was very disconcerting, very scary. And then overnight, I had a fever, and apparently, according to Marie, I was talking in my sleep. And I was saying stuff that wasn't making any sense, like stuff like, talking about how we owned a Target and how I was worried about, my family, and I was worried that people were going to get my family, and it was like my mind was. And she said I had a tremendous fever, like I was super hot, and she said it was like you were just like on fire, and something, and I can only imagine that because of the fever, it was causing me to be like delusional to the point where I wasn't even thinking straight. I had no idea what was going on around me. And she kind of monitored me, fortunately, for most of the night. And somewhere around 3 or 3:30, it started to subside, but I was just exhausted after that. It was just killer. I slept most of the day today because it was so, my body was so worn out after this. I was so tired that I couldn't move. I had aches and pains, and the dogs and I just crashed out today, and I didn't get a lot done. But this is what leads me to this conversation, which is, I don't think we should be worrying about what's considered good, what's considered bad anymore, because there are too many times when I'll see these things that are high rated, and then I'll buy them and find out that I don't think they're that good, that I think they're overhyped, and I'm like, nope, this is not that good of a device. I don't need this any kind of thing. This is bullshit. This is I don't know how they rated this high, because it's not that good. Another case in point this evening, Valentine's Day. So wanted to get something nice for Marie for dinner, just her choice. We weren't going to get anything like, fancy or anything like that, unless she wanted that, but just offering to buy her Valentine's Day, a Valentine's Day meal. And she wanted Popeye's chicken. And the Popeye's that's the closest to us is rated a 4.7 on Uber, out of a couple, I guess 1,000 or something, 800 something thousand ratings. And so I was like, okay, well, it looks like it's got a good rating. It's not that far from us. We'll order from it. Well, we do it from Uber Eats, first thing is, they didn't come for almost an hour and a half. Now, yes, potentially that's because of the day it is. A lot of people are ordering in with their significant others or their families, eating at home. So there's not a lot of people who are, eating out on this day, or who are eating out. Now they're ordering in and having wine, watching a movie, Netflix and chill, or whatever they're doing. So that was horrible. Horrible. And yeah, so we got the food an hour and a half later, and the lady who delivered it to me, her name was Janelle, and when she hands me the little tray with the drinks, because we ordered these 2 combos that each came with a small drink, and then we got a large drink on the side of it for each of us, and the tray, when she handed it to me, had 1 small drink and 1 large drink. And I said, wait a second, there's supposed to be 4 drinks here. And she said, no, the ticket only says 2. Well, I didn't see the ticket at first because I can't read it without a magnifier. So she handed it to me, and she said, no, the ticket only says 2 drinks, 1 22-ounce and 1 large. Well, I looked and she said they were both Pepsis. So I looked on the receipt when I got my magnifier, and she was completely lying. Either she was lying or she couldn't read. And she said what it was, because she had talked to somebody over there. But on the ticket, it actually says, the 4 drinks, the 2 smaller drinks that came with the combo meals, and then the 2 larger drinks that we ordered, a la carte. Then Marie wanted mashed potatoes and gravy with her food, and instead they gave her fries. She was supposed to get an extra biscuit, didn't get her extra biscuit. I didn't even get my side, which was supposed to be mac and cheese. And the 4-piece I ordered, have you ever had chicken that was like really dry and you're like, why is this so dry? Well, I have 2 theories on why this is the case. Number 1, most logical, is they set it under a heat lamp for too many hours, and eventually the juiciness, the juices within the chicken and everything dry out, and it becomes this kind of hard meat. It's not tender. It's not anything like that. Okay. So that was the one thing. So, fine, whatever. But then I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there. So it's either one, it's been set under a heat lamp for too long and it's dried it out, or number two, which I think is just as possible, is that it's reheated chicken from the day before. Now, don't believe when they say, no, they would never do that. They can't reheat chicken from the day before. Bull. They have refrigerators. They have freezers. They can reheat stuff anytime they darn well want to. Let's say they're short on chicken, so they could go. They keep the other stuff in there in case they absolutely need it. They go in and they grab it, heat it up in the fryer, put it back out on the heat lamp, under the heat lamp, and it's already been cooked. It's already been refrigerated. It started to dry out. So then they add this, then they put it back into the fryer again. It doesn't make it get juicier again. It just makes it hotter and greasier again. And then they put it back under the lamp, and it continues to dry out even more. So there's one of those two options as occurred with this place, and it was just a cluster. The tip was supposed to be $10, and I was going to do $10.33 on the tip. I honestly went back in. I tried to change it to zero, but they wouldn't let me change it to zero because this woman lied to me basically at the door. She lied to me, or she was incompetent and wasn't able to read. Either way, she was incompetent. Took her an hour and a half to deliver the food to us. Just horrid. So for that, I've pulled back to as far as I could, and I gave her a 1 cent tip because it was a horrible experience. I just couldn't believe it. The food, I told them there were things missing on it, which were mashed potatoes and gravy, mac and cheese. Well, okay, so I messed up on part of it. Okay, let me be honest. I told them that there was one of the large drinks missing, and that there was the mashed potatoes and gravy were missing from Marie's order. Okay, they gave me $4.54 return on that. Now the mashed potatoes and gravy alone are probably $2.50, and the drink was $4. So there's no way that them giving me that amount was right or appropriate, because it was just garbage. It was just absolute garbage. I should have told them of all the stuff that was missing, but I was so frustrated at that point. I didn't even think to tell them all the stuff that was missing because I was so irritated at the moment. I'm raising the camera too much there. Anyways, so it was very frustrating. And on this Don Darius, which we had yesterday, which gave me, the food poisoning, basically, I called them when I had a moment of clarity during today and said, look, you need to be aware of this, that I just ate at your place last night, and I had a chicken quesadilla, and as of right now, this is as of the time I knew it when I reported it, I'm the only one who's been feeling bad, and I'm the one who had the chicken quesadilla. So I think there was something wrong with that chicken, or the cheese or whatever. Something that you put in the chicken quesadilla, something was wrong with it, and you need to be aware of it. And I said, can I speak to your manager? That's the first thing I asked when I called, and they said, well, there's no manager here right now. Well, now I'm pretty sure that if you're in a restaurant, because I took ServSafe for the state of Texas 13 years ago when I joined BET, and I'm pretty sure that 2 different people have to be on site when you have a restaurant. Number one is someone who has passed the ServSafe exam, who's licensed to understand how food service work goes, meaning they have to understand temperatures, the atmosphere, and the atmospheric environments that the food has to exist in, how hot food has to be cooked, how hot it has to remain to stay at a temperature or serving temperature. I mean, all these different dynamics of health and food safety. And then another person is supposed to be on site, another person that is supposed to be there. It could be the same person, but it definitely has to be at least one person who has both of these qualifications, which is you have to have a ServSafe certification, and the second one is you have to be a manager. So whether they're the same person or 2 different people, you have to have those 2 different individuals on site to make sure before the restaurant to run. You're not supposed to run without those. And if you don't have that, then you're running the risk of violating health laws, and you should be shut down. Now, obviously, I don't think they're concerned about it, and I don't think the health department's doing their part anymore of shutting down places. But I called them and told them about this, and the lady on the phone seemed concerned about it, And she said she would pass on my phone number to the manager and have them give me a call. I never got a call from them the rest of the day. And I don't expect to get a call from them. If I do, I'll be pleasantly surprised. But I don't want anything from it. I don't want food. I don't want a cancel a turkey. I don't want any other food from it. I don't want them to replace it because I don't want to go back there and eat again. But what I want them to do is be at least concerned about it and try to do their best to resolve the issue and make sure that they don't poison other customers because, I got lucky. Who knows if someone else who had eaten it, if they already had a compromised immune system or something, who knows if they would have survived it? Who knows if they would have survived it? So it's a scary thing to me. So I guess my bottom line is, oh, and by the way, Don Darius had a 97% positive rating on Yelp. So I just don't believe ratings anymore. I think they're purchased versus earned nowadays. And people are paid to go on and write a positive review for this or that and to diss something else in favor of a specific item because they want that they just, if you could buy a reputation, it's better than actually having to earn one, even though you really should want to earn it, not buy it. But that's just the way we are nowadays in the world. What is it? Instant gratification. Make yourself look good before you ever are good. And it really is breaking a deal with the customer base, but I don't know. People will take a lot of abuse when it comes to how their food is served and still pay for a meal. I am not one of those people. If someone gives me a crappy food, I'm going to complain about it and I'm going to say, crappy food. I wrote a number of piercing lines about how much garbage this was and how dangerous it was for people like people who have compromised immune systems, and how much you could have hurt someone a lot more if they had been worse off than me. Anyways, I'm still a little bit fuzzy in my head, but just don't believe ratings just because it says it's high. If it looks like it's going to do what you want it to do, or if it's a place you want to try, go try it. Unless you're just getting constant screams against it, saying it's got food poisoning or whatever else. Go try it for yourself, because a place that may not be highly rated may be terrific food. It just doesn't have the ability to buy the reputation that other places have the ability to. And so try this out. Try not to fall for all the ratings, because once again, you just don't know where those ratings are truly coming from. And I think that's it. I hope you guys have a great rest of the night. God bless you. Stay safe. Hope you got a chance to spend Valentine's Day with someone special to you, or multiple people special to you. Hope you got hugs and kisses and love, and got to show love, and got to do something happy and nice for somebody. We should do that every day. It doesn't need to be Valentine's Day, but we have to take care of each other and treat each other with love, because life's over in a minute, in so many ways. So take care of yourself, and it's a whirlwind. Life has been such a whirlwind since I met you, since I saw you. Anyway, take care of yourself. My head should be back on straight a little bit more tomorrow, but I did want to get this second video up, and I did now, even though I'm probably a little foggy in the way my presentation is. Hope it made sense. Take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you soon. Again, God bless. Be safe. Don't eat crappy food. And cut.